It's Mike Kinnick, Car Stars and Roll Bars. We at the SEMA Show, Las Vegas Convention Center, Las Vegas, Nevada, 2022. Hold on to your socks. This is going to be huge, and you will definitely enjoy the ride. As we're at the SEMA Show 2022 here in the Las Vegas Convention Center, Las Vegas, Nevada. You heard me earlier, SEMA is back, and you see some of these amazing cars. What we like is some of the behind-the-scenes stories. We got to talk about this Yenko. What in the world? And I think I'm looking at that signage, 1,100 horsepower?
1,100 horsepower, 950 pound-feet of torque, and limited production of 50 of each of the stages.
Wow, and so odds are they won't be around too long.
No, we're already sold out of 2022, and we're more than halfway sold out of 2023.
And you haven't even built them yet?
No.
Wow, so what's some of the highlights? Because this is a beautiful car, and obviously it's got the power to back it up.
Well, absolutely, and we start with a in-house built 416 cubic inch LT1, all forged internals. Modified heads, 3-liter supercharger, and putting out 1,100 horsepower, 950 pound-feet of torque, and it has a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty.
And it has a warranty.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Now, as I understand, for a brief little history lesson, this ain't your first hot rod you played with.
No, we're formerly SLP, and we've produced all of the 4th-gen Camaro SS and Firehawk for GM from 1996 through 2002.
Beautiful. So where are you guys based out of?
We're based out of Toms River, New Jersey, and we build all the vehicles there.
Really? So how can people reach out to you, or do they need to go through a dealer?
The only way to get these cars is to go directly through your GM dealership. General Motors will drop ship the base car to me, we'll build it, and then it gets delivered to the dealer for delivery.
Woo. So if you want to get one of these, you probably want to order your 2023 now.
Now, they're going fast.
Wow, so is there plans for 2024?
Well, I don't talk about future plans, but obviously, as long as the Camaro is here, I will continue building the Yenko Camaros. And in addition to that, we also build Yenko Tahoes, Suburbans, and Silverados.
A Tahoe?
800 horsepower Yenko Tahoe.
Okay, now back. You said Suburban?
And Suburban.
How much horsepower is in the Suburban?
800 horsepower.
Oh my. So that is a true grocer getter.
It is.
Wow. So I got to ask, we're a show about hot rodding. What's your favorite hot rod to drive?
Yenko Camaro.
Yenko Camaro. That was a pretty easy answer. Thank you so much for being with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are far from done for our coverage of the SEMA Show 2022 right here at the Las Vegas Convention Center. Until we come back, enjoy the ride. You've been hearing me talk about the cars, the celebrities, the manufacturers. Well, there's lots of legends of the industry that are with us. And to my immediate left, I have Ed Hamburger. Ed, it is such an honor to be able to say howdy to you, chat with you a little bit, because you've been at this a while, brother.
A couple of years.
A couple of years. So tell us a little about just what's transpired over the years with the influence you guys have had on the racing is amazing.
Well, we've been very fortunate and lucky, actually, to do the right things at the right time. The car that is behind me is how it all really started.
Wow.
Started racing this car in 1970 and 71, and by 1978 I had an 8-car team that all the cars looked the same. They had the same paint scheme.
Yep.
And we did very, very well over the years, and people became very aware of our vehicles and product line and so forth, and that's really how it all started. And since then I've done a number of other things. Hamburger's oil pans, we had 83% of all the Cup cars that used our products, sold that company to Mr. Gasket in 1995, and then developed the company that I now have, which originally started out as SLP, performance cars and specialty vehicles, and then I sold the performance parts division of the company and then just kept SLP Specialty Vehicles, and then turned that that name morphed into Specialty Vehicle Engineering.
Nice.
In 2015, and that's what we've been doing ever since. So we built all the Yenko Camaros, as you have seen earlier.
Yes.
And the car behind me, though, is one of my favorites because it's one of the original cars that I built, and love to race it and still enjoy being with the car. And fortunately, here we've seen a lot of people that have remembered it, and it's been a trip down memory lane.
And to me, these are timeless vehicles. I love seeing some of the traditional race cars around, because between that and you're the guys that kind of got this whole industry going of drag racing, which formed it in NHRA. None of that been there if you guys hadn't been on the front end of it.
We enjoyed it. It's in our blood, and we had a lot of fun doing it at the time. I wouldn't change it or trade it for anything. All the memories.
Excellent. Well, before we let you get out of here, what's your favorite hot rod to drive?
Well, our current Yenko Camaro. It's 1,150 horsepower, and it's a hell of a ride.
I'm laughing. We had the pleasure of interviewing your son, David. Exact same answer. You trained him well, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Don't go too far away. We're having so much fun at SEMA. We aren't going to stop. We have a whole bunch more coverage coming up. Until then, enjoy the ride. Here at SEMA, I believe we are now on day 3. Seems like we're living here just the way we love to do the SEMA Show. And we are approaching halftime. We're about halfway through the day. A lot of great rides around us, as you can see. A whole bunch more coming up from SEMA 2022 Las Vegas Convention Center. Right here, Car Stars and Roll Bars. Don't go too far, and always enjoy the ride. Yeah, we're still at the SEMA Show. Forgive me for my head going, I found another Superbird. Before we talk about the bird, I got to be fair to our good friends here. I got Chris Holt with me, HP Tuners. Tell me about everything you're doing, but we got to talk about Superbird. But first we'll talk about what you got. Yeah, I'm kind of wound up. You got to help me, Chris. What's going on?
So we're here at the SEMA Show 2022. We come out every single year. We did not skip last year. We were here to support, and we offer tuning solutions, tuning software for factory ECUs and PCMs. So anything from cars, trucks, side-by-sides, Sea-Doos, Ski-Doos, all that stuff, we support it. It's over 2,000 vehicles that we support now. I can't name them all.
Wow. So with your tuning capability, you can see enhanced performance, economy, reliability, maybe enhancing even how it shifts, correct?
Correct. You can do all of that. You can do all of that. You can do transmissions. You can do the engine. And not only that, you can do data logging, state-of-the-art data logging. You can do diagnostics, data and telemetry. If you're running it on the track and you want to data log your drag strip pass without having a laptop on the passenger seat, you just plug in the device, hit the button, record that drag strip pass, get back, plug in your laptop, and see how it did.
And the data on the track, that's about as essential as it gets.
Exactly. You can see exactly how healthy your engine is performing and if you need to make any tweaks.
Woo. So how do people find you on the internet?
You can just go to hptuners.com. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Best up-to-date information is Instagram, and we also have a newsletter as well.
Cool. So we got to talk about the Superbird behind you. So as I understand, this is the original bird, but they kind of done a little performance enhancement to it as well.
Yes, so I'll do my best to tell the story as I've heard it from a few people this week. It was a 1970 Superbird. Owner bought it sight unseen, very rusty. Also not cheap either, because obviously it's a Superbird.
It's a Superbird.
And the owner wanted to have something that was really drivable. You could drive it on long road trips, road rallies, take it road course racing, any of that stuff. But if there's a breakdown, you could go to a Dodge dealership, pick up a part, anything like that. So that's why they decided to stick with a factory computer. And we've got a built Hellcat engine in here. It's frame, everything up has been restored, but to modern spec. So it's going to be a lot more reliable. Nothing against the old stuff. It's beautiful. But this is something that this owner is not going to have an issue hopping in and driving 500 to 1,000 miles on a road trip.
And then the beauty with your tuning capability, he knows exactly what the engine's saying.
Exactly, and he can plug that in anywhere. And there's remote tune assistance as well. So if he's out on a road trip and he's having an issue and he can't do the changes himself, he can get on the phone with his tuner, log in, and make some changes on the fly.
Okay, wait. What he can call in, and you guys can tune it when he's sitting on the side of the road.
So not us, whoever he's using for tuning. We
Right.
don't supply any tunes, just the software. We call it the only tool you need in your toolbox.
That is absolutely amazing. Okay, Mikey's catching his breath, so he's standing this close to Superbird. Now, maybe if I tell Mary it followed me home, she might go for it. What do you think? Or nah?
I don't know about that. There's been a few people that have come through here and have tried to buy it out of the booth, and the owner loves it too much.
Oh, yeah. Once you have one, you really can't go back. Man, we can't thank you enough. We are far from done at the SEMA Show 2022 here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm going to hang out with this Superbird, my new buddy, here for a moment. I promise not to drool on the car until we get back. Enjoy the ride. As we cruise the SEMA Show, you know you're going to be finding friends, and a lot of times I look out and I find really cool guys I have an honor to call a friend. I got Kevin Oeste to my left. Yeah, that'd be you, brother. Yeah. You are the host of SEMA, and we're able to get you away from stage for a couple minutes. We are thrilled to be in your house, brother.
Hey, it's not my house. It's definitely the industry's house, but always great to see you. Thanks for the kind words, Mike.
Man. So what do you think of the show this year, 2022? I'm telling everybody I think SEMA's back, baby.
The show's been really, really good, and the numbers they're saying is like a 35% increase in attendees, but over 500 new exhibitors this year. Believe that?
Nice.
Yeah. So the other interesting thing is the Asian corridor is still not open for travel.
Correct.
So if all of those people were able to come here, I think we'd be real close to our pre-pandemic levels.
Absolutely correct. So what's some of your favorite memories so far from the 2022 SEMA Show?
Well, I've been really fortunate to be able to work for SEMA and do these gigs. So I spend my time over at the SEMA Central Stage, chatting with industry legends and people that would normally not talk to me unless there's a camera, you know. Had a great conversation with drag racer Antron Brown.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
So here's a guy who started a top fuel team of his own this year.
Yep.
Went from having no building and no truck and no car to being second in the points now.
And if I recall, he was originally in pro bike back in the day.
He started on two wheels and evolved to Schumacher racing, but he is all about putting a team together and getting a focus and a direction and making it happen. It was really, really an awesome conversation.
And he's a stand-up guy.
Oh, he's a hell of a guy, yeah.
And anytime you get near the racers, when we're out there at NHRA, we got the pleasure to talk with Corey McClendon, Corey Mack, the Mack Attack, back in the day, and bring the funny car out. And just they are just so gracious, and they really appreciate the time to share the stories.
Well, so what I think is cool is that in racing, it's not a bunch of heroes because you lose. Yeah. Sometimes you lose, and it's humbling, and it makes you drive in and get back to the game. So those personalities are really solid.
Exactly, because they got to be, because like I say, you're going to have the wins, and you're probably going to have more L's than you do W's.
That's a fact, you know, and it's all about how you regroup and get back on the track. You know, it's funny to me, I think we spend so much time teaching our youth and teaching people how to win. We need to teach them how to lose.
Exactly.
Right? So that they can look back and go, okay, what happened here? And not get discouraged.
Like with First Robotics, the phrase they have, gracious professionalism, right? And they say it's easy to be gracious when you lose. Well, you got it when you win, but you got to figure out how to be gracious when you're not the winner.
For sure, because it's going to happen.
It's going to happen to every one of us. So how's the shop doing back home?
Oh, the shop's doing great. Yeah,
very
super
good.
Busy. Actually, I have no idea I'm here.
You're here. So I got to ask before we sit, guy, because I know the producer's waving at you. Got to get back on stage. What is your favorite hot rod to drive?
To drive.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's interesting? There's a lot of the Pro Touring Camaro kind of cars that we've built that just feel good and handle well. Those are fun. But, you know, if you give me a loose, clapped out, you know, early 30s Model A with a smoking, even a small block, and the thing shaking all over the road, that's fun too.
I'm loving it. Kevin knows he's thrilled to be with you. You got to check anything. You see his name, you see what's going on with SEMA. He's going to take care of it. You are one of the masters of the business, man.
And you too, buddy.
Oh, and when I grow up, I want to be like you. I may keep my hair, but I want to be like you, baby.
Well, I'll start growing mine out.
All right. Thank you so much for being here.
We'll have opposite looks.
Hey, we can work that out. We are far from done from SEMA, so stand by. Don't go too far away. In the meantime, enjoy the ride.